Let's be honest, eating healthy is not the most convenient thing to do. You have a long day at work, you get in, and all you want to do is get on Deliveroo and get something straight to your door. We all know that leaves us feeling groggy, tired, and it burns a hole in our back pocket. So here is my solution. My 3 favourite high protein, low fat one pot meals. We've got our chicken tikka masala and rice, our taco beef cheesy pasta, and our veggie roasted pepper pasta. Every single one is under 500 calories. It's got a decent amount of fibre in, it's got a decent amount of protein in. And the most important thing is that you can do it when you absolutely can't be arsed, when you've got no willpower left in the tank. I get it. A lot of people think that I just film videos every single day and my life is just like an easy influencer life. I own 2 businesses. I have a full team. Honestly, by the end of the day, I just want to slap on the sofa. It's hard and I get it. And I can't even imagine what it's like for you lot that have got kids, you've got families, like you need something that's gonna give you a bit of help. So this is why this method is so easy. We just whack everything in a pan, forget about it, and it's all done. So let's go make it. Starting off with probably one of my favorite recipes of time is my taco beef pasta. We're gonna start off with some spray oil. This one, talk about in every one of my videos. It's the avocado oil spray. If you don't know, get to know. Then we're gonna go straight in there with our onions and a spoonful of each of the lazy chilies and the lazy garlic. And let that just simmer away until it gets nice and brown. Okay, onions are looking nice and brown. We're gonna fire in the beef now. Trick with beef to get like some really nice flavor on it is get it in, flatten it down, and then just whack it straight on the heat and don't move it until the beef forms like a really nice crust on the bottom. Right, we've got the crust looking good. Before we turn it over, we're just gonna get our taco seasoning. I'm just using a packet today. If you do wanna make your own concoction seasonings, I'll put down below what you need if you don't have a packet, but for convenience, you just get yourself a packet. We're gonna use about a quarter of that and then pop it on back to the heat. Now we're just gonna chuck in the veggies. So we've got some peppers, some sweet corn, and for fibre, we've got some beans. Now, fibre is something that not a lot of people talk about, but it is something that is so important if you're on a fat loss journey, if you're not on a fat loss journey, just for general health. Amazing for your gut, gets everything flushing right through. If you're not going to the toilet regularly, you need to get some fibre in your diet, but beans are such a good thing at just chuck in whatever dish you have. So I'm gonna whack some in here. Perfect for the Mexican beef vibes. So get that going, make sure everything's getting nice and heated up and mixed together. And it's honestly just dead simple from here. We're just gonna pop the tomato sauce in along with the pasta. Again, I'm using whole wheat pasta instead of plain pasta. It adds about 2 to 3 grams more fibre. Doesn't look like a lot. When you actually add it with all the veggies, once the pasta expands, it actually does add up to a really decently sized meal. The really cool trick with 1 pan meals is we're cooking it all in 1 pan, no more dishes. So the pasta actually cooks in with the sauces. So just gonna pop in 200 ml of water along with everything else. Give that a good mix together. Pop the lid on and just wait until that bubbles away. And after 10 minutes, we should be looking at something like this. Pasta is cooked. It's smelling absolutely delicious. We've got a couple more steps and then we are done, ready to dig in. First one is gonna be our yogurt. We're going for like a creamy Mexican recipe here. Normally you'd use something like cream, but the yogurt just makes it a lot lighter in calories. And in my opinion, you really can't taste the difference. Give that a good mix through. And it also adds a good touch of protein. Can't get enough protein. And then last but not least, just to finish this right off, is we're gonna get some light cheese and sprinkle it all over the top. Literally 20 more seconds under the hob with the lid on to melt that cheese all the way through. And we're all done. Look at that. Wow. And that is it. All done. Yes, all of this food is for you. You're not sharing it with anyone. Everything in this pan is for 1 person. It's so high in volume. It's around about 500 calories, got 15 grams of fibre, and it's gonna keep you full for a good few hours. Recipe number 1 done. Let's move on to the next one. Now moving on to one of my favorite dishes of all time. Whenever I make Aaron this, like, he asks for more every single time. It's my 1 pan chicken tikka masala curry. I feel like this is probably better than the takeaway. I will hold my hands up and say that. And it's under 500 calories. Actually, it's under 400 calories, which is insane. So we're gonna start off with our chicken and our spices. And all we're gonna do is let that marinade with the chicken for about 10 minutes whilst we get everything else sorted. If you can do this overnight, it'll just generate even more flavors, but we don't have time to do that around here. We're then gonna add in half of our yogurt with the chicken to give it a nice bit of something to marinate it with. Give that a nice stir together. Add a nice little bit of salt and pepper. We're just gonna set that aside and we're gonna get straight on to the onions. So we're just gonna whack in some either shallots or onions. For some reason, my stomach cannot stand white onion, but it can stand shallots. So we're gonna go with shallots. Put a nice little bit of spray oil in there as well. And we're just gonna fire in our tomato puree and tikka seasoning and whack that straight on the hob. Once the onions are looking really, really brown, we're just gonna get our nicely marinated chicken and just fire that straight in there with all the nice creamy yogurt that's come off there. Spread it out so each bit of chicken has a space to breathe and cook away. And that's just gonna get fired straight back on the hob. Once the chicken's browned off quite nicely, we're just gonna go ahead and whack everything else in. We've got our basmati rice, but we have got wholemeal basmati rice. Again, it just adds in the fibre. And it's a little swaps like this, you can hardly tell the difference, but you're adding in fibre across your day, which is gonna help with your fullness, it's gonna help with digestion, it's gonna help with general health, so you may as well just make the swap. Pop that in, and 40 grams rice doesn't feel like a lot, but trust me, once it expands, once you get everything else in there, it actually does fill the meal out. We've then got our tomato passata, chicken stock, give that a nice stir together, and then that's just gonna go straight back on the hob. Pop it on a low heat and just let that simmer through for about 5 to 10 minutes until the rice is nice and soft and you're ready to go. Okay, now that the rice is nice and cooked, we're gonna add in the last part, which is just our yogurt. Again, traditionally in curry recipes, you'd use like cream, but we're using something lighter, just a good dollop of the good stuff. Right in there, give it a good stir. And there you've got yourself a good chicken tikka masala with rice made literally within 10 minutes, and all that just for one person. Just for you, you can eat it all, which is just beautiful. I do actually have a high protein naan that's literally 2 ingredients that you can put with this. I'll put it in the description box below with my Instagram video. And if you do want to knock yourself out with a naan as well, if you do have time for that, you can go and do that. But for everyone else, go and enjoy your curry. Okay, last but definitely not least, we've got our hidden veggie cottage cheese roasted pepper pasta. Now this one actually is veggie. I've had a lot of questions about veggie recipes on my channel, so got one for you all and you're all gonna love it. Basically the protein is gonna come from the cottage cheese. I know you're gonna squirm at that, but you can't taste it once it's in there, once it's disguised with all the good flavors. But anyways, first of all, we're gonna pop our pasta in the pan with some boiling water and let that start to boil off. I do lie on this one, it's not quite one pot, but I hope you forgive me. We are using a blender. Grab your blender and we're just gonna whack all the rest of the ingredients in the blender, so it's super duper easy. So we've got our roasted peppers. You can either roast them yourself, or if you do want to eat, you can just get them from a jar in the shop. We're then gonna get some beans in there as well. Again, I'm talking about fibre a lot. It's so good for your digestion. If we do have good digestion, it's gonna make your whole life a lot easier. Is your life easy when you can't go to the toilet? No. Get your fibre in. Beans in there. We've got all of our herbs and spices. Chili, garlic, green herbs, smoked paprika, and some tomato puree. Then the cottage cheese. Lovely jubbly. This is where the majority of the protein is going to come from. Then, so it won't break my blender, we're going to pop in some vegetable stock. Whack the lid on. All done. Smells absolutely delicious. Drain off your pasta, and then we're going to whack that pasta straight back into the pan, along with the good sauce. Pour that straight in over the pasta. And we're gonna let it cook up for about 5-ish minutes, and that's it done. Last thing we're gonna do is get some good old cheese in the mix there. Not only is it gonna add some nice fat, but also a good bit of protein. Let that all just get involved, melt away, and that is one pot dish number 3 done. Boom. So that is it all done. Let me know if you give it a go, and let me know if you do love this method of cooking, because I have got a full section in my recipe ebook all on one pot dinners. If you're into that sort of stuff, the link's down below. You can get every single recipe. But for now, that's it, and I'll see you in the next one.